Right, so I've done an initial impressions video on this case already before the iPhone 17 Pro Max arrived, but there are many more long-term impressions of this case after I've had it for a few weeks. This is the Peak Design everyday case for the iPhone 17 Pro Max. After reviewing the NAR case from Peak Design and being quite frankly disappointed with the case, see this video for that linked in the description and one of the corners of after this video. Is the everyday case as good as it's been in the past, or has it become a bit of a disappointment like the NAR case was? Let's find out. The Peak Design case, everyday case, has been a long time favourite of mine, especially when out on the bike or out with my youngest while he's in the stroller, because of the Slimlink mounting system on the back. It securely attaches to the universal mount via MagSafe and the mechanical mounting provided by the square on the back. This works just as well as ever, and the Peak Design have a full range of mounts for bikes, motorbikes, cars, making it a really versatile system if you need the mount on your phone. The motorcycle mounts I think now even charge, which is great. Charge the phone, sorry. I've got the tan clarino vegan leather version here, which has a nice soft touch lining on the inside. Just a note on the tan vegan leather, it doesn't patina in the same way that real leather would. On my iPhone 16 Pro version here, it largely looks very similar to the new iPhone 17 Pro Max case that I have here. But there's an ever so slight darkening, but nothing like real full grain leather with patina. Now this might be a positive or negative to you. Some people like patina, me included, and some will prefer things to look pristine throughout the life of the case. The back, at least, will do that. What did happen, however, on my 16 Pro version was some quite significant patina on the rubber edges of the case, which I did not expect. I'm not sure if this is coming through well on the camera, but the sides have significantly darkened, taking on the oils from my hands and become a lot darker. Just something to be aware of. My black version still looks exactly like when I bought it. Right, let's pop the phone into the case, which goes in with a nice solid thunk. Now straight away, this is nothing like the NAR case. That case had very loose, soft surrounds on the case, meaning that it popped out very, very easily, and wouldn't be happy with that in a drop. The everyday case, I'm happy to report, is much stiffer, and there is literally no play on the sides of the case. This won't be falling off easily if you drop your phone like the NAR case would. On the sides, you've got metal and very clicky buttons, and the camera control button, which is now a button rather than a cutout like it was in last year's version. The iPhone 16 version made it quite hard to use the camera control, whereas this is very easy, it's very responsive, works very nicely, and you'll have no issues with that here. On the bottom, you've got fairly large cutout for USB speakers alongside lanyard slots on each side to mount Peak Design's anchors. In the hand, the case feels nice, solid and rigid, and you get decent grip from the sides of the case. On the back, you've got raised camera protection that lets you see the color of your phone, actually, which is nice, but does a good job of being slightly higher than the camera lenses, meaning you won't be rubbing the lenses against anything when you set the phone down. The Slimlink connector is found underneath, which is the main draw of this case, and it works just as well as on any other Peak Design case. And below, you've got the finger loop, which is much improved over last year's cases. With a bit of practice, you can now get into the loop one-handed. The redesigned loop now sits slightly proud of the case, and it's also got really strong magnets so that it clips back nicely when not in use. On last year's fabric cases, I found that the loop was really hard to get into, and also found that it kind of dug into the cuticle of my nail, making it quite uncomfortable to use. This year, the loop is only available on the clarino vegan leather cases, and it's definitely much better to use. The screen has minimal lip around the screen to protect it from face down drops and being put down on the table. This is fine if you aren't using a tempered glass screen protector like me, but if you are, you will find that the phone is resting face down on the screen protector rather than the case, causing it to slide around. In a drop, you'll likely smash the screen protector. I'd really like to see Peak Design increase the lip on these cases. It was a problem with the NAR case as well. One other thing that I've noticed on this year's case is that the fit and finish just isn't quite as nice as my iPhone 16 Pro version. Where the clarino leather meets the frame, you can feel a definite sharp ridge, where last year's was a much smoother, more sort of integrated. So overall, it's still a really nice case, but if I'm honest, if I weren't already invested in the mounting system, I might well have skipped this case. Quality definitely seems to have taken a step backwards with the hard ridge and the transition from the material on the back to the sides of the case, the low screen lip. There are better options out there if you don't need the mounting system. So there you have it, my review of the Peak Design Everyday Loop case in tan clarino. Thanks for watching, and if you've enjoyed the video and found some value in it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to see more content from me. I've got loads more coming for the iPhone, Apple Watch Ultra 3 and the AirPods Pro 3, so I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks.